What's up?
Coach, a week until the opener, as you turn the page to Georgia Tech, how weird is it preparing for an offense other than Paul Johnson's?
It is a little weird. It would be weirder if I was actually watching Georgia Tech. But we know what we're watching Temple because that's what we got. We don't have any Georgia Tech offensive tape to prepare, so it'd be weird. Next year it'll be even weirder. But it's crazy. Paul Johnson he was unbelievable. What a job he did, and became a friend. I didn't really know him until he got into the league, and obviously had a lot of battles, and just a great football coach. So, but man, Jeff's done a great job coming in there and really creating an identity for them, and giving them, I think, very clear direction on what they're trying to do. And so, man, he did an awesome job at Temple. And so we're just kind of studying that, and that's really all. These games are hard. Last year, we opened up with a triple option team, and then we had to turn around and go to A&M, and you're looking at Florida State, and I think Notre Dame tape. So it's just hard when you don't get a lot of time to study the personnel doing what you anticipate them doing. So it is what it is. So we got to be prepared. And, we're off to a good start and kept them inside today, just kind of 2 days in a row, just trying to really get us fresh, get us healthy. I like where we are health-wise, and we just got to get the plan down and get ready to go execute Thursday night.
You watch some Georgia Tech films for personnel, or is it
yeah,
just
yeah. You look and see personnel stuff and try to take anything from spring, and all that. But there's not, there's just no carryover from last year. Now, defensively, you can see some guys moving around, and then they don't. I guess they don't have a depth chart or whatever, so you're just kind of projecting. But the biggest thing we got to do, and it's always the same, regardless, every year in the opener, because there's so many new people. That's why I hate preseason polls and all that stuff. They shouldn't even do a poll until, October, to be honest with you. It's such a waste of time. Y'all do polls, and you don't know about half, and you're like, well, spitball. Who knows? Who knows? We got over 40 new people on this team that weren't even here last year, and we're supposed to be this great. Give me a break. And vice versa. Sometimes you have some teams that weren't very good last year, but players get better, and maybe they're ranked not high because they weren't very good last year. But man, they're a pretty good team, and so I just, like I said, I wish you didn't have to worry about that stuff till about October and even think about it, because then a little bit more of an identity of who people are. So who knows? There's a lot that we don't know about ourselves yet, and there's a lot that we don't know about them, and it's that way every year, every opener. You just don't know, so you have to get ready for schematically what you think they might do. Now, the positive is we've prepared for a lot in camp, because we've been going against Clemson, and we've prepared kind of for our season, so you can get into a game and, okay, maybe it's a little different than what you prepared, and hopefully you can fall back on your training a little bit and make the adjustments that you need to make, because the openers are always about adjustments. So it's going to be a tough challenge.
College football starts on Saturday. It's a week earlier than normal. What's it like for you to prepare the team with a longer stretch over that period, even that extra week over the season?
Yeah, we have more time to prepare for this game than any game we play ever. It's just because you're in summer prep and in fall camp, and so it's a lot, and you got all that time, and it's the hardest game to get ready for every year too, to me, because you just so much newness, and you have to kind of reinstall and get the rhythm of the season going. And you got a lot of people that got to, okay, what do I do when I walk out of the locker room for pre-flex? What do I do post-flex? Where do I go on the sideline? So there's just a lot of things for the first game that, to me, it's always the hardest game, just kind of getting everybody. And then once you get through that first game, then you can kind of start building a little rhythm, and have a normal practice week, and start, everybody's got some experience now as far as how we do things. All the way down to how do we handle halftime? What do we do? And obviously here at Clemson, we got a lot to talk about. We got post game, we got alma mater, Paul. There's just a lot of stuff that you have to cover, and first game reminders and so forth. We hadn't been to the hotel yet, and how do we travel? So this game is, to me, always the hardest, even though we have more time. than any other game. But it's good. I think we got a good plan. You know, we're right on schedule as far as prepping the team, and that's going to be a big weekend for us. Tomorrow's a really big day for us because, especially with so many new people, because tomorrow's a day where we teach a lot. You know, sideline organization, halftime organization, pre-game organization, not to mention situational stuff and game prep throughout the game. So it's a very critical day in our prep process, and then Saturday will be a kind of meetings and jog through type stuff, and then we're going to kind of hit our game mode Sunday night. So we've got a good plan. Excited about it.
How is DK progressing, and has he gotten enough work this fall camp to be able to either start or play a major role Thursday night?
Yeah. I mean, we wish he would have gotten all the work. There's no doubt about that. I think he would definitely be further along had he been out there every day the whole camp. But he's healthy, and we were very cautious with bringing him back. So he's been out there for what is today? He's been out there since, I guess, the weekend. So he'll have a good couple weeks under his belt. He's a veteran guy. He got some experience in the spring. He's worked hard this summer. So yeah, we should have had a little more live work, but it's kind of is what it is. But he'll get his opportunity next Thursday. I'm sure he'll be one they going after early.
On that same note, Frank Ladson, how's he coming along?
Great. He's doing great, and did everything today full speed. Really, really pleased and encouraged by where he is right now.
DeAndre playing at the slot position, is that one of the things you're really looking forward to in the opener?
Yeah. I mean, he's had a great camp. I mean, we got a really good group, a good deep group at receiver that I think guys are excited about going out and playing. We've got a lot of guys that are going to be able to play and play winning football for us at that position, so I'm excited about that. But I'm pumped for DeAndre. That guy's worked his tail off, and it's been cool to see him become so diverse as a receiver, because he had a lot to learn when he got here. He was really more of a basketball player, kind of a jump up, catch it guy, and he's really become a technician now. He's become a very fluid, smart receiver, and physically he's in an unbelievable spot, but he can play 3 positions for us. He can play 4 when we do our indie package. He can play anywhere. So, but it's cool to see him in the slot, and especially what he's been able to do. He worked hard at it this summer, and he's had a great camp. So, really excited to see him be able to get the opportunity.
With DK back now, will he move back into that starting role, or are there some other guys that are kind of pushing?
Yeah, he's out. He'll be the starter. In his first game. It's like I tell him, we don't really have starters. We have beginners. Somebody's got to begin the season, and you have to prove it every week. We don't have, this is our first game, so then you get into game evaluation and grades and performances and competition. And so we got a lot of guys that are going to get an opportunity to play. If something changes, he'll run out there first. Sheridan, I'm pleased with him. Mario, Anthony, those guys have all had great camps and deserve to play. And going to give us some really, really good quality depth at that position. Booth, same thing. And Booth is coming. So I'm excited about all those guys' opportunities.
You mentioned a little bit, but with AJ on the other side, you expect people to go after that other spot with son?
Well, I mean, they're Georgia Tech, so they're smart down there. That's what I do. I wouldn't you? I mean, that number 8's pretty good over there. And I mean, I guess you got to test the water, but I'm going at whoever's over there. I'm not real smart, but that's probably what I'm going to do. So those guys better be ready, because whoever you got out there, DK, Mario, Anthony, whoever it is, if I look over and see number 8, I look over there, I don't care who that person is, I'm going over there. So I think that's just kind of common sense, But that's part of it. It's part of it. Just like that D-line, man. They better be ready. Because you know what I'm going to do if I'm playing that D-line? I'm going to come right at them, and I'm going to try to bloody their nose and see if they like it. Just test the water, Stick your toe in there and see what it's like. So we got to be ready across the board.
He was saying before the season he wanted to see Xavier Thomas be a more complete defensive end. How has he progressed? And
good.
is he a guy that's going to be a beginner, you think?
I don't think he's a beginner. He's played 300 something snaps of football.
I mean, as far as a starter.
So,
but
I don't
using
know.
your team.
I don't know who's going to run out there first. I mean, we'll figure. We got a long way to practice, so
Yeah.
we got a lot of competition in that D line. We're going to play a bunch of guys. I think we'll play 5 ends and probably 5 or 6 D tackles. So you're going to see us play 9 to 11 guys probably every game until we can figure out, or see separation. But Xavier's had an awesome camp, and yeah, that's the big thing with him is let's don't just be a situational wow guy. Let's be a complete football player. All right, smart, disciplined, love doing the dirty stuff, just like you love doing the stuff that gets you on SportsCenter. Be a complete player and dependable, play in and play out. So he's really had a good camp. I mean, I like how he's finished, especially. Logan's had an awesome camp. Justin got a little banged up, but he's like an old oak tree, man. You just count on him. He's just as steady as it comes. And Maskell's getting better, KJ. I mean, we got a good group, but there's a lot of competition, and so we kind of are where we are right now. Again, I'd say the same thing. We're going to have beginners, whoever runs out there, but the next week it might be different. I think some of that's just going to have to go into the season and figure out, and hopefully, it's a situation where they're all pretty doggone good, and they all can kind of feed each other, and, go from there. And if somebody really separates, great.
Outside the obvious from the win, you want to get the win. What are the boxes you're looking to check on Thursday night for the team?
Well, you said it. First of all, just win the opener. That's the main thing. I don't care how we play. I mean, I'd like to see us play well, but I just want to win the opener. That's the first goal. So 69-68, 3-2. We want to find a way to win the game. We're not trying to get any style points or any of that stuff. We want to find a way to win the game, number one. But just get an evaluation of kind of where we are. And we're going to have some mistakes. There's going to be some, this is football. And these are young people and they hadn't played a game in a long time. And there's a lot of guys out there that weren't even here last year. So there'll be some moments. But how do we respond? Do we do the little things right? The type of effort that I expect. Are we on the same page? Are we all heading in the right direction? Are we mentally where we need to be? So I'm going to get a gauge on all that after this first game. And no matter what we do this first game, we got a long way to go. We're a long way from being a great team. We've got the ingredients, but I would not anywhere near say we're a great team. We're just not. We're a team that has the potential, and so we got to go and put the performance with it, and we'll get that opportunity, and we'll get that gauge, and find a way to win the game. That's the objective, and then we'll go from there. That's what we want to do.
Who are some of those freshmen that are still on the bubble or might need 4 games before you decide?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into any names with all that stuff. Right now, they're all going to play. They're all going to play, and as we progress into the season, because some of those guys I may tell you that, and it may change. So we're just going to leave it at that.
Injury-wise, how are you guys looking?
We're good. Most everybody's ready to go. The guys that have been out are out. So the only guy that's probably questionable is probably Cade. He's been battling a little ankle sprain, but hopefully he'll be back next week. But everybody else is the same guy. Amari,
Davis
is back. Davis has been practicing. He's done look good, especially for a guy that hadn't. He's been in every meeting. That's the thing that's impressed me about Davis Allen is he can go out there and function. He can go play. He's really worked hard on the things that he controlled. He's missed a lot of physical reps, but mentally he's sharp. And so it's been really good being able to see him out there the last few days and see him out there grinding with the pads on today. So I'm really encouraged. Same thing. Wish we could have had him for the whole camp, but the biggest thing is getting him healthy and then him mentally staying in tune and engaged, and he has. So I'm really proud of him. I think he's a guy that is just going to kind of progress quickly as he gets into the rhythm of things.
What kind of year are you expecting from Xavier Kelly this year?
His best year. I think this is going to be his best year by far. I'll be disappointed if it's not. I love X. He's one of the best people we've had come through here. And, man, I just want to see him put it all together. And he has had a really good camp. And so to answer your question, I think he's going to have by far his best year. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Any favorite? Go ahead.
When you watch him operate, you work together with him. What impresses you most about Dan?
About who?
Dan, D-Rad.
Oh, D-Rad. Dan gets it. He's very smart. He sees the big picture. He can articulate things. He's got a great vision, and for how he wants things to be done. He's organized. He's proactive. He's very proactive. We meet, every other week at least, whether we need to or not, just to talk, touch base. And, he's like I said, very smart, savvy business guy, and he understands the financial aspects of things. So he's excellent. He's as good as there is, and he's done an awesome job here.
Any favorite moments from the lake on Tuesday? Anybody do a belly flop into the lake or anything like that?
I had a ball because I had 3 freshmen. I had Boding and Putnam and Mason Trotter with me. So I had 3 freshmen, and none of them had ever been on the lake, knew nothing about it, so it was kind of fun. And but watching Putnam and Mason, rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to have to jump off the rock first, that was pretty cool. But then they didn't even hesitate, just boom, win. So it was fun. We had a good time. And it's always a blast seeing those guys, just let their hair down and enjoy themselves. And folks at the reserve are amazing every year to kind of help host that. And so it was a great day.
Everybody good?